Christina Branson. Daughter Cheyenne B. B for Bravo. There. Her daughter was killed. Cheyenne was killed, and Christine obviously finding it hard to cope, no doubt. Just wants answers, really. I suppose the answer why is always that sort of thing. I'm going to try and do some sort of mediumship thing here. I'm going to do these Konxari cards. Normally, the Konxari is used in like ghost hunting. If you go on a ghost hunting trip or something, and you do a séance or whatever it is you do, the spirit is supposed to come through and say what happened and how they died and what they're feeling now or what's going on or whatever. But in this particular case, I thought I'd do that with Cheyenne. Although I suppose if it was mysterious circumstances, we could try and use them to work out the mystery or something like that, which is what I normally do. What's normal? Sat it on your washing machine. So I thought we'll do these Konxari cards, and we'll just simply ask for Cheyenne B to join us, and just tell us a bit about what's going on. And I thought with these mediumship cards here as well, these conversation type cards, we'll just soon get some sort of message, just something that's said as well, in that department, I suppose you could call it. So what I'll do, I'll shuffle the Konxari cards. Konxar means, well, it's the Egyptian for talking to the dead. When we do Ouija board and things like that, you get letters and numbers and things. With Konxari, it's letters, numbers, keywords, photographs, symbols, all sorts of stuff going on. So when we use the Konxari, as we're doing now, we put the Ouija board away. But for now, we're just going to ask Spirit of Cheyenne B. We ask for your presence. Commune with us, Cheyenne B, through these cards, and move among us. Spirit of Cheyenne B, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Cheyenne B, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Cheyenne B, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Cheyenne B, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Cheyenne B and your divine presence. And we'll just place those there just for the moment. And we'll just, again, Spirit of Cheyenne B, we ask for your continual presence, that you commune with us through these cards and also and move among us. Spirit of Cheyenne B, we ask that you also commune with us through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Cheyenne B, we ask for your presence, that you commune with us through these cards also and move among us. Blessed be to Cheyenne B, again, to your divine presence. And we just place these cards here to the I'll sort of pop those there, I think. And then we'll deal these. I just want to, before we do that, Cheyenne, I just want to thank you for your presence. I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I want to thank you for your time and your energy and your love, and the message there that you brought for your mum. Hopefully that can provide answers to maybe some of the questions. Obviously not all, and maybe not even the answer to the main why question, but nevertheless I suppose it's just a little bit to help us cope, isn't it? We don't want to get over it or anything like that, but we're just here to try and help us cope. We're just going to deal out. I'll just stick those two together just temporarily. We just deal out these cards. It's a bit like a compass, isn't it? I think it's supposed to sort of represent the points of a compass, sort of directions as well, and things like that are indicated there. So we just go round there like this, and then we have to just remember that there are 4 cards we're not supposed to see, and those are the north, south, east, and west cards here. These. If you want to look at them, don't. Nobody actually knows exactly why this is, but we don't look at them out of respect for spirit, out of respect for Cheyenne B in this particular case this morning. You can leave them face down and not bother, but what normally I do is what the general rule also suggests, that we just remove them. If you want to look at them, don't. Just remove them. Those 4 there, that's what I've sort of haphazardly put them there, because they're not supposed to remain in, so we can just neaten up the rest after. And then we just place them under the deck there, like so, and then we're ready to go there. So what we'll do, I suppose, with these here as well, I'll just pop the rest of the deck there just so you can see it there, and you can just look after it there for us, and whatever, and then we'll just pop this one here. So that's where we are at. I'll just spread this out here, and then we've got this central cross configuration, and then these others at 45 degrees here. So it looks a bit more ship shape and Bristol fashion. Looks a bit neater, doesn't it? So let's first of all we have to just go through in the order that they were dealt. So obviously it's this, and then these 4 here in that order. We can, as I like to do, just reveal each one individually and just talk about what we're sensing, what we're feeling from it. Or we can just turn them all over and I suppose theoretically, or maybe even ideally, you're supposed to just turn them all over and then just get on with it. But the way I do it, obviously, means that if the narrative changes, or the storyline changes, or the way we're viewing it, or whatever changes because of if we start to suddenly follow a line that doesn't seem, and it suddenly changes, that's just it. That's just how it goes. Let's see how we go though for this. So the first card will be this one here, won't it? This will be the first one. We'll often think of Konxari as like how we do runes and tarot and things like that for us. The Konxari is their reading, so this is Cheyenne's reading really, isn't it? Cheyenne, this is your reading. So let's just flip the card here nice and slowly, and just to reveal what we've got here. Now just remember that orientation, maybe it may have a significance. In this particular case it probably doesn't, because it hasn't got no arrows and things on it, but nevertheless, we've got the energy of honour. Got a Leo attachment and the number 3. Now bear in mind these letters and numbers, not the symbols, but certainly the letters and numbers here on the right hand side there, at the bottom there, and just remember that. Because at the end we're going to put them in a row, and that's, I suppose, the Ouija-ish sort of Ouija board-ish sort of such a thing, type of thing, where there may be a message there may be a hidden message or something, an anagram that we can try and work out if there's just one final thing, or it may be the key thing that we've been looking for. But either way, the number 3 is, so write that down if you can, if you've got a pen and paper, write that down, and then and then you can work out what the message is as you go along, or afterwards. So with honour, of course, as we've got here, well, obviously I'm focusing on the knight, the armour, the knights of old, the valour. I suppose you could say the knights of valour or whatever. And it's as if, literally, as if Cheyenne is saying, it's all about honour, it's all about me standards. A bit like that song, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Well, that actually is mentioned in the song, doesn't it, near the end or somewhere. He does actually have a thing. Everybody doesn't think to know what it means, that meatloaf thing, but he does. I can't remember what it is. But it's a similar thing to that sort of thing going on here, where as if she's sort of saying, I would have done anything, but I wouldn't do that. I've got my standards, I've got my honour, I've got me. So I don't know how or what the circumstances were of if she was killed. I don't know in under what circumstances. If, say, for example, I'm not saying it is, I hope it isn't, but if assuming, say, some women are raped and killed, aren't they? Well, I would have, because I refused to do it with him, whatever, he did me in, or whatever. I'm not saying it's that, I hope it isn't anyway, but it's that sort of thing where, you know, he asked me to, or even just he asked me to marry him, and I'm not going to marry him because, you know, for as much as he who marries her who is divorced committeth adultery with her, also she who marries him who is divorced commits adultery with him. So, or maybe he was married, or whatever, and or it could be anything to like relationships, or well, okay, there's money in it, but I didn't say yes to the contract because there was dodgy dealings going on, or it might have been dirty money, but I've got my honour, I've got my standards, and I'm not going to lower myself to those sort of levels for that. It's as if he has the honour, as if the Leo is indicating I'm in control here. I'm not going to let somebody else control me by selling my soul to the devil, as you'd say, in that sort of metaphorical sense, and give in to that. No way. It's as if she's sort of that sort of thing. Why I'm getting that? Maybe it's because of that. But that's just the sort of thing I'm getting. I'm not necessarily saying it's that exactly. It might be, I don't know, but I'm just saying that's the sort of thing I'm getting from it. If it's any indication to maybe how she's feeling, or is she still as awkward and cross-omical as you say now as she was when she was in the physical. But let's see what this next one is here. Let's just see what we've got ticking over here. We'll just flip that card again nice and slowly, not to disturb the energy there. And we've got space. I don't know if this is the. I don't know if it's the Orsad Nebula. I don't know what it actually is, but we've got the symbol of infinity. There's like a number 8 on each side, and then 0. They often say when you do Ouija board, if you ask the spirit how old he is or she is or whatever, how old they are, and they say 0, then you stop straight away. It's a sign of maybe evil or whatever. But laughing and joking apart, although it isn't funny, we just pop that there. So that's just again, there's space. Remember the 0. So of course infinity and 0 and space, and that's what we're doing there. So place that just out, don't we? That's how we. So straight away, space, Well, I'm sort of thinking of the spirits of the East as space, isn't it? Represents the element of air. But I have my honour and plenty of space. I don't know. Okay, Mother, you work it out. You have a look. This is another thing, isn't it? When all I'll say is we're supposed to bury them, aren't we? That's all I'll say. Really, it's horrible. Things are what they are. There can't be any R at the moment. So here we are. Space. I'm a bit stuck on what to think or what to sense from that. I've got my honour, I've got my standards, I'll do anything but I won't do that. What, there's plenty of space around me, or there was, or I don't know. I'm just a bit stuck on that. It does happen. So we'll leave it. It might connect to these here or the surrounding cards, which is what we're coming up to this third one, so this might give a clue into what it's about there. We'll just flip again nice and slowly, not to disturb the energy, and we'll just reveal what we've got there. We've got the energy of suffocation, and I think it's a Sagittarius, the symbol of Sagittarius, and the letter A. So we've got the numbers 3, 0 and the letter A for alpha. So there, that's what we've got there for you so far. Suffocation. That is obviously a cause, so that would appear, if you didn't know, you do now. But there was plenty of space. Maybe, I don't know what, I'm still, I don't know if this is how, but this is what's coming up. I suppose they're supposed to be used, like I say, in ghost hunts, or even in a situation where you don't know how they passed or what was going on. These give a clue. You can hope that it's wrong, but I suppose it's the truth, isn't it? The supernatural truth. Suffocation. It wasn't a sudden heart attack as when you get old, isn't it? That just conks out or whatever. So it was something that was done. When you say she was killed, then that would have done it. So she's, maybe you're wondering, I wonder if he hit her over the head with a bloody mallet, or she banged her head, or if it was a car accident even. But either way, whatever that may indicate, it's still saying suffocation there. But I had me honour. And I had me. I still don't get that. What the honour is. I wouldn't give in. I said no or something, and I don't know. I'm going down that. It's horrible. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Let's just see what the next card is. I'm still that space. I'm still stuck on that at the minute. It's okay to be stuck. There is an option for the 13th card. We can pull that one off the top there that you're looking after for us there. We can keep your eye on that if you want to. If there's not enough information here, but only if we need it though. Really, let's just see what we've got. Now here, notice how we will hold it in that. So that's the way it went there, because there's an arrow. So the arrow is pointing toward the left in this particular case. Lost, and a compass symbol, or whatever there, and the letter G. So remember, we've got the number 3, number 0. Where's the letter 0 as a number? the letter A, and now write down the letter G as well for golf. That's the letter G for golf there. So, and lost. So lost, suffocation. When as if it's saying when I was suffocated, I was lost. I didn't know where I was. Maybe it's just a metaphor for I didn't know where I was. I went dizzy or something. Maybe I don't know. We can have a look at what these two cards here are. Maybe a side of it, and obviously what these two are here connected to that as well. So we've got those four in the middle, haven't we? As I'm still getting this thing here with I said no or whatever it was, and I wasn't going to give in to it. I've got my standards, and I'm not going to do that. And so maybe, and I was lost, didn't know where I was. All I know is there was plenty of space. That if I'd have got up and run, if I could have done it, I would have done. But I was lost and I didn't know, so I stayed where I was. If it's what we think it was, hopefully it isn't, but if it was, then maybe if she was dragged up a corner or down an alley or something like that, I didn't know where it was, there is that. There is that you could consider. It's a horrible thing, but it's. I'm going to pull the next few cards here now to see what else is surrounding between honour and lost. These next two, let's just see what this one is first of all here. Hatred, and the symbol of fire, and the letter N for November. So write that one down with your others that you've got. We'll go through them again briefly in a moment there at the end of the sitting. But there was a lot of, although there was the hatred, although I was hated for it, I had my honour and my standards, and I don't care who liked me or disliked me. I'm getting that, see how it's developing there. Yes, okay, I was or am lost. I was lost, maybe lost in a metaphorical sense as well, didn't understand why, or I'm sort of going, if she was dragged up an alley or something like that, or whatever, maybe it was that, or if it was a car accident, then she couldn't navigate or whatever. It could have been something as innocent as that. But of course she was cold, so he didn't say how, or all you're asking is why. So we can examine these cards and go by what the cards say. That's very important, that I'm going by what the cards are saying here. And you can't hope that it's wrong. That's it's not about getting it right or wrong or accurate or whatever. I suppose that's the general idea. It helps, but it either is or it isn't. But I'm doing it in the sort of hope that some of what I'm saying is wrong. I hope it's wrong. And then we can all put our feet up and say, yes, it's just a metaphor for that or whatever, and it wasn't. But the hatred there between the honour and the lost, couldn't either, the lost as in couldn't understand or whatever, or if it's a physically lost. I had my honour, and as if she said, I keep sort of get this, like a woman or a girl's voice or whatever, or I'm just hearing like a voice sort of saying, you know, you're in the mind's ear, don't you, I suppose. And I said no, I'm not going to do that. But hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just hearing things, and hopefully I am. Let's see what this one here is between the space. This might give us an idea what the space is. Yes, other than eternity, I have my honour, and that'll last forever or whatever. I don't know, but the space is more like space around objects, isn't it? Let's see what this this is here that we've got some sort of alchemy symbol there, I think, the letter R for Romeo, and Sala, down the Sala. I don't know what this may be pointing to, but if you've got a Sala, then it may be pointing the space down the Sala. Literally. Well, I tried not to try hard, and that's what we've got there, the space down the Sala, and I'm lost, or something's lost down the Sala. Maybe there's an object down there, and it's like an object that's lost. What the suffocation has got to do with the lost, I don't know. Maybe I didn't know where I was at the time, otherwise I'd have done a runner or something. I kicked him in the bollocks and done a runner, or I'd have tried to release whatever it was from round my neck in the car, or whatever it might have been. I don't know. Or was it just a simple case that suffocated because she hung herself? I don't know. I literally don't know. I'm hoping all them are wrong. I'm hoping there's a bit more of a simple answer, hopefully. You can hope that, can't you? But either way, I'm lost because of the suffocation. Maybe I went dizzy or whatever and couldn't get my bearings, otherwise I'd have tried to get up and move. Although there's plenty of space around me, nevertheless, the hatred, I wouldn't do that. I don't care, you can hate me for it. He can hate me for it. He can hate me and feel malice toward me because I won't do it with a married man, or I won't do it with somebody who's been cheating on me, or whatever the reason. I won't do it with a divorced man. I'm you know, or I've got my standards, or whatever this is. He can hate me for what he wants and disorientate me and do that to me. I'm hoping that isn't the truth. But there's plenty of space that I could have gone up, but couldn't. And that was the reason why, because I was lost. I didn't know, I hadn't got my bearings, otherwise I'd probably, like I say, kicked him in the bollocks and done a runner, or tried to untie it from round my neck, or whatever it was in the car, or whatever that was causing that. Either way, you can hate me for it, Mum, if you want, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to do that. But down the cellar, it is sort of pointing toward some sort of storyline, as there's like an object down the cellar that's lost, or something's lost down the cellar, that maybe if you go down there you might find it, instead of go down with a torch. He said, oh, that one, oh God, I'm talking years ago. I used to go down Gran and Grandad's cellar with a torch. There's nothing down there, it was all kids' play, wasn't it? But it's just they're going down there, and I think there's actually a light in there, I think. But it is the fact that you go down the hallway with a torch, isn't it, and all that sort of thing. It's just what you do when you're kids with grandma or something, when Grandad's outdoors doing the gardening and your parents are at work or something, on a school holiday or something. But either way, it's that sort of thing, isn't it? But either way, maybe there's something important. I'm sort of thinking something of importance is lost down there. Assuming he doesn't, the cellar isn't a bloody metaphor for something else, I don't know. But that's what we're getting there. And let's just see what the next last but one card is. We're trying to find why or whatever. I suppose so far the reason why is I got me honour and whatever, and I got me standards, and I class them a bit more important than just doing what I'm told or whatever for the sake of it. I'll fucking fight it, basically. And more arrows there, so I've got to leave that as it is. So it'll be like that, won't it? And notice these arrows as well. In this particular case, it's shadow. And then we've got an arrow and the number 6. More got bloody loads of numbers, you haven't you? We're doing lots of numbers just lately here. Number 6. So write that one down. and we just place it in the way it was orientated. Notice the arrow here pointing toward, in the lost section there, something's lost, which way is lost, that way. It's pointing toward the east, and this arrow is pointing toward the hatred. Is it pointing toward the hatred because it's parallel with it, or is it just pointing north-east from either where we're sitting now, or north-east from where you are watching this at the moment? In a north-easterly direction there's a shadow. Is there something else? I suppose if north in your home is the front door, doesn't actually matter if it is a northerly front door or not. It's just that I think it's the feng shui, the tung shui thing dictates that your front door is north, even if it isn't. So it's just classed as north. If you can give your home a polarity, I suppose. So maybe it's northeast from the front door. Maybe if you're looking toward the front door from the indoors, it's sort of like, you know, 45 degrees to your right or something in front of you. Is that where the cellar is or something, or is that where maybe there's a chance of finding whatever it is that's lost, but it's based on hatred? Maybe it's something that she hated, as opposed to hatred and malice did this and forced me to do that, and I said no. What was it? Is it just something I don't like, spiders, you know, and the closet or something, or whatever it is up that bloody corner, or where the cellar is, and it's where all the webs are or something. I don't know. It could be something as simple as that. I don't know. But let's pull out the final card as is, just to see if we've got enough here before we have a look and see what message there is. We'll just flip that nice and slow there, not to disturb the energy. And notice here we've got the number 7. So more bloody numbers again. You're just not an angel, and the arrow symbol there, another arrow. So we'll have to put that down the way it was drawn there. So that's that. We'll just pop that there. I think that's how we got it, didn't we? That's it, we did that. See, the arrow pointing southwest, so it's like as if the arrow, the shadow that you see is maybe in front of you, looking at the front door or something. If it's in the home, assuming it's where you are, it's up that 45 degrees to the right in front of you. But the angel points behind you. Behind you to the left. So southwest there. Maybe the angel casts a shadow, and it's where is this one sort of thing. It's where the sun, maybe I want to say an angel as a messenger, but I'm just sort of getting maybe either the sun is rising, if it casts a shadow in front of you to the right there, then obviously the sun is pointing to where the sun rises behind you. In the home, maybe that's south, so your house is orientated that way, or the house where she was, or wherever the shadow is cast that you see. But it's as if she's saying, I'll cast a shadow, as if maybe, if say you didn't know who'd done it, say for example, I hope you do, but or at least if it was a whodunit. But say, for example, you didn't know who'd done it, I'll cast a shadow on who'd done it. You'll see something like a hand move or something move over them as we're all standing there, you know. Or I don't know what the shadow is in the form of. In this particular case, it's a hand at the window. Maybe you see her walk past, because it's where she maybe always used to do. So you've either got like something just impregnated on your mind. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Impregnated on your mind, and you just automatically see them when they're not there, or have they left an imprint on the atmosphere? And you're viewing it from another dimension or from another time, being projected like a film or a video being played back or something from another time or whatever, and it's entering the physical in that sort of way. If one was to believe that, I want the 13th card. I know you're looking at over here, and I know you're saying, pull that bloody 13th card. That may provide an answer or not. Maybe the answer has already been provided. But I'm going for the 13th card. Although I feel enough it has been said there anyway, we'll just go for the 13th card here. What we've got murder, and the Mars, and the letter K. So at least we know that. That sort of, I don't know whether you place that in the middle or you put it to the side. I suppose the card 13, we'll just pop it there, maybe. You can't bloody see it there. So, well, I don't know. I'll just place it sort of, I don't know, should I place it like that? Just so you can, for the benefit of that, maybe just slightly off or something like that, just so you can see it or something. So that's, I suppose, that, and the shadow is cast toward the murder, where the hatred is. I'm still getting this sort of, as I've said before, that I didn't want to go down. Well, there's plenty of space, but I was disorientated because he got his hand around my neck, and there was the hatred. He hated me because I'd said no, or something, or God knows whatever. And thus I was suffocated, murder by suffocation. That's what it's saying. Now, I'm not saying maybe that's the truth, but we know that I'm asking the cards, so that's what the cards say. And we've done it out of respect, I suppose, as you'd say, with true intent, and that's what's going on. Now, we need these other cards as well, and of course we shuffled them. So I want to see what message there is now, and then we'll put all those letters and numbers in a row for you finally, that may give the name of who's done it, if you didn't know, or you know, a final thing that's said, like a final message or whatever it might be. It could literally be anything. It could be names, addresses, dates of birth. It could absolutely be anything. We don't know. It's an anagram, and you'll probably know more about it than us and our mother. So let's just see what. I normally do 3 of these cards: the beginning, middle, and end of the messages. My sort of way of justifying it and making logic or whatever it is. I have a new understanding now, Mum. I have a new understanding, and I just want you to know that. Maybe it's like a realisation thing. I didn't want to believe it, but I was wrong, and I just have a new understanding about why maybe things are. If you don't know why, I certainly know why. I've got a new understanding as to why. You'll still be me bloody mum either way, and I can still watch over you. It's just I'm just watching over you as opposed to you watching over me. I suppose in the order it ideally should be. From whatever ideal is, I don't know, but I just want to see what else is going on there. I have a new understanding. I want you just to know there's no such thing as death, Mum. I want you to know that. but I think you already knew that, because I'm here now just maybe clarifying either your worst fears or just clarifying what you already knew. Well, at least we were thinking the right thing, you know, or whatever. But either way, I've got a new understanding, Mum. I just want you to know that there's no such thing as death, and I want you to understand that as well. So they're getting that from it. And I just want to tell you that we've been together in dreams. So when you dreamt about me, it wasn't just maybe a recollection of what happened or what you wish would have happened or whatever. It was me. It's the mind that sees, remember, isn't it? The eyes don't see as such, do they? They're just lenses, and the mind picks up the stimuli and makes sense out of it. And in the same way, that's how we communicate in that sort of way. It's the mind that sees and feels and hears, and dreams are not always just recollections of what we've been through the day to help us cope with or make sense of it or whatever the dream interpretation side of it is. I'm tempted to pull a couple more cards with this here. Yes, nobody ever dies. I just want you to know I've got a new understanding. Maybe, okay, Mum, I didn't quite believe in the afterlife, as you know, it's hocus pocus like a lot of people who find it hard to cope. It's a coping mechanism, and there's no truth in it. It's just our way of trying to justify things happening too early or whatever. Well, I just want you to tell you, yeah, I was wrong. There is no such thing as death, and I've got a new understanding about that now. I've been put in my place, as you'd say, and I just want you to know that we've been together in dreams. So if maybe I've told you the same thing in a dream, and you thought, oh bloody hell, you know, is that just me hoping that all this? But if this is what was said in the dream, or if it's got some sort of connection, any of it really, maybe, then that's I suppose that's okay. I want to just see what these other couple of cards are. Let's just see what this is here. I'm just saying we will be together again, Mum. And I know that, yes, I've got a new understanding. There's no such thing as death. We've got round that one, and we've been together in dreams. And I want you to know that we will be together again, Mum. We will be together again. I just want you to know that. Although it's not in italics, is it? But it's as if she's saying we will be together again. So you don't you know? I suppose it's just temporary, isn't it? We're just absent from each other just for now. But now passes. So you know, try and delay the inevitable yourself, because if we're going to be together again anyway, we can at least try and maybe help others, and you're no good to others if you've done something silly, which I don't want you to do. But like I say, I've got a new understanding. There's no such thing as death. We've been together in dreams, Mum, and I just want you to know that we will be together again. And just finally there, it's a good job we brought the two there. I just want you to know that my death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt. Although what happened, as we've been on about, the actual point of, I like to think the point of my death, the moment of my passing, I like to perceive that one as. The point of my death, or my death was painless, when I actually crossed over. Why did I just suddenly hear to be with your mum and dad? I don't know why. Maybe he's still here and I've got that wrong, but I just heard that. So just pretend I didn't if it's wrong. But that's just what I heard, and I don't class myself as a medium as such, but if anything happens and you think of something as you say what you're thinking, that's what the only way I can do it. Maybe I am doing it and don't know I'm doing it, which doesn't help, but it doesn't matter anyway, to some degree, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. But the point of my death was painless. The moment of my death was painless. The moment of transition to the summer lands, when I saw the light and moved down to the tunnel or whatever it is, toward the rest of the family. That was the painless part of it. I wasn't suffering then because I was out of the body, and the body obviously feels the pain, and I wasn't in the body then. I think that's what she's trying to say. So at the point where maybe okay, lost or whatever, I don't know. I'm still trying to do the other one as this one, but we'll leave that now. I think I just suddenly want to stop, and we're going to leave that as it is just for now until maybe next time, and we're just going to gather Cheyenne's message there. And what we'll do, I'll put them underneath this deck. We can clear it down later, you know, I clear these cards and whatever. I can clear that in my own time. Just a moment of silence there for myself. A bit like doing the washing up, isn't it? That bit is. Ready for the next reading, just to clear the energy off. But just for now, just place it underneath there. And this is the other bit. I'll just gather these up in reverse order that they were dealt. The reason for that is it means that we can deal it out, and it comes out in the same order again, basically. That was card 13, wasn't it? So we'll place that on the end, I suppose. We'll just plop that there just for now, and we'll just, so get your pen and paper if you haven't already. We'll just go through it briefly again. We've got the number 3. I'm just lifting. I'm looking at the screen just to try and level it there, just so you can, so we can see. We've got the number 3, 0, the letter A. So just briefly go through all these. The letter A, the letter G. That's. I think we'll have to just orientate it around a bit there. That's a bit better now. So yeah, I thought that just felt a bit off. And then we've got the letter N for November there, haven't we? So that's another one. Write that one down. Write down the letter R for Romeo as well. And then the number 6. The number 6, you know, lots of numbers, and number 7 as well. I don't know if you add them all up together or multiply one by the other and divide by the other or something. I don't know what the numbers is. It birth dates and house numbers? I don't know. I don't know. And then, of course, finally there, the letter K, kicking K. We didn't notice that one, did we? Just put the letter K there. And that is... that, so I'll just bring that round there just so you can see that there and into view there. So with that we'll just say that love is the law, love is the bond. Merry did we meet, merry do we now part. And merry may we meet again. Until next time, we cast a dark shadow of supernatural truth over all of these cards and proclaim blessed be to Cheyenne B and all absent friends. Take care, Cheyenne, until next time.